Sorry, may pala ko talk story na I think other phone buggered up and it just went off with the internet. We're not sure what happened, but we were telling the story about when Pastor came, Reverend Gerald Buston came when he was 15 years old, and we were talking about his book that he wrote when he was 19. He had spent 5 years in Papua New Guinea, and so he was talking about the book that he wrote, Teenage Missionary. And that he first came to Papua New Guinea. He came to Kalpina Station. He stayed at Kalpina Station for a while, and then he went to Tomball and was working with his brother-in-law, Victor Chamberlain, at Tomball. And then they heard about the Wedu Valley, and they said at the Wedu Valley that they could not go there because the police had told them they could not go. And even the people at Tomball were warning them that they shouldn't go to the Wedu Valley because they might be harmed. But they sent people from the Wedu village to tell them they had a school at Kalpina Station and that they would be happy for them to come to the Kalpina Station for their students to come and learn. And so some of the Wedu people sent their kids to the Kalpina Station.
Na sample of Wedu monkey all come along Kalpina. Na all talk Wedu na, all you know talk pidgin good too. Na all come along bush tasol and they come up along Mission Station.
So some of the people from the Wedu Valley could not speak even pidgin. They came from the Wedu Valley to the school there at Kalpina, and they could speak Wedu, but they couldn't talk pidgin.
Na sampala one all sabe talk imbong or talk hour. This pala talk place from Kalpina. Sampala one tasol is sabe this pala talk.
Just a few of the different ones from the Wedu could speak some of the Kalpina language.
So people start on teaching more. Na behind people are government talk. Long time, but people opium this pala Wedu Valley. Na you pala missionary can go inside.
So they began to teach the people from the Wedu tribe, and then they heard not long after that the government said we're going to open the Wedu Valley, and then some of you missionaries can go there.
Or talk you pala no you got one pala water, all call him water lambue. Talk you know can brook him this pala water, and by you go on upside, you brook him law from government.
So he said that there was a river that went across a river, what was the name? Lambui. And he said that the government said you can't go across that river. If you go across that river, then you're in violation of the government.
So Papa Blomi talk, all right, you may go walk him one for the legal mission station, all grass house, all bush house. You may walk him along already through water lambu and all line low upside, all you can come no mipala.
So his father said, okay, then we'll go right to the river bank and we will start a mission station right there at the river bank, and then the people on the other side of the river can come to us.
Mipala go walk him some bush house, na mipala walk him little house from low to all got something bush house does, so you know got house kappa or something.
So they began to build some bush houses right there and a house for the church, but it was all made out of the bush grass and all of that, and they didn't have actual materials like copper and wood.
Tasol Papa na number 2 Mama Blomi all come stop na another missionary too all come na me too me go stop me got little house Blomi bush house Blomi too.
So his father and his stepmother and some other missionaries and he himself all went and were there, and he had his own little bush house, and they were all living there by the banks of that river.
Now me probably got one little house sick. Number 2 Mama Blomi and we'll look out him sample all sick. It was I help him all, now look out him all.
So they had a clinic, and the clinic was right there, and his stepmother would be helping all the people that came to the clinic.
Now me sabe go down long little water lambu na me walk long wash or subim water tasol long upside me no nam go.
So he could go down to the river and he could take a bath or he could swim, but he couldn't go over across the other side of the river.
Now some people blow another side or walk long come. All tambulo all come looking me pala tasol tambulo go inside long widow.
So the people in the Wedu Valley, some of them that were on the river, they came. And they were able to come across to the other side, but that wasn't against the law for them to come, but it was against the law for the missionaries to go across the river to the...
So people wait to stop, na people walk him, some kind of cargo to put him on Yalibu.
So they waited and they brought some of the cargo and different things and they put it at Yalabu.
Yalabu at this time, government station, and we got one for a place, Baluch.
So at that time, the Yalabu station was a government station and it had a landing strip.
That's a mission station, blomi pala, stop along Kaupena, na blom way liglig.
But their mission station was at Calpena, so it was a little ways away, and that's where their airplane could land.
So some of the time, we pala sing out him all Baluch, Karim Kagu, and put him long Yalabu. Now behind me, one time, sabla, Wokman, me pala go, and a Karim Kagu, he come down on Lambue.
So sometimes they would ask the airplanes to come and bring the supplies to the Yalabu, to the airstrip there, and then him and some of the other guys would go get the cargo.
Now behind, people like him pass from government and talk, okay, place you open now, you probably can go inside.
Then later the government said, okay, the Weedu Valley is open, now you can go into it.
Now, Papa bro me and talk, you must kiss him, hurry up, now walk about and go to Yalabu, and kiss him motorbike, bro, you stop on Yalabu, now you go on top of Tambo, and sing out to Victor Chamberlain, and come go on down me inside on Weedu.
So his dad told him that he needed to hurry up and go to Yalabu and get his motorbike and ride his motorbike to Tomball and then get his brother-in-law, Victor Chamberlain, to come and then they could all go into the Weedu Valley.
Victor Chamberlain and one for Sabi man belong walk him house or Sabi man belong find him good for a place where water is I run something or same. So Papa talk and must come and help him find him good for a place or walk him mission station inside on Weedu.
So Victor was really good at building houses and good at being able to find where a good place was to build the land and build the houses. So they wanted him to go with them so they could find a good place to have a mission station in the Weedu.
So me lose him Lambu and me walk about. That's all they go on top of Yalibu.
So he left Yamboy and walked to Yalibu.
Now me kiss him motorbike bro me am now close to dark.
And then he got his motorcycle, but it was really dark.
Sorry, motorbike below me, and got one problem. This for a headlight blown in no work.
Oh, but the motorbike that he had a problem. The headlight didn't work.
Now too dark.
And now it was dark.
That's all me must hurry up and go to Tomball.
But he had to hurry up and go to Tomball.
Now me look him moon will come sun up on top and make him look like too light.
So he saw the moon, and the moon was shining a little bit and bringing some light.
So light blown moon, that's all me behind him, he go come up on Tomball. I think 1 o'clock in the morning or 2 o'clock in the morning, me go come up on Tomball.
So he followed the moonlight and he kept going, and then finally about 1 in the morning he got to Tomball.
Now me go knock on house belong Victor Chamberlain, and sister belong me Claudine. Now all get up and talk one him. He go, please you open now, Victor, you must go hurry up.
So he went and knocked on the door of his brother-in-law, Victor Chamberlain, and his sister, Claudine, and they said, what is going on? And he said, get up quick, because they opened the Weedu Valley and we must go.
All right, Victor kiss him, Tambu blomi Victor, and kiss him motorbike blomi, and M16, and he go back long Yalibu.
So then Victor got his bike and he took off and went back to Yalibu.
Me stop yet long Tambu when I'm sister blomi.
He stayed at Tomball with his sister.
Now behind Victor, he go come up along Lambu, and next day, Papa blow me, one time Victor Chamberlain, one time somebody Walkman, all walk about he go come up along one station or talk Melly station.
So then later, the next day, when Victor got there, then his father and Victor and several of the other people came, and they went across over to the Weedu Valley to the place where they call it the Melly Station now.
Now, this fella, somebody line blow Melly, only been Kambungi, me pala, time people stop along Adilo water Lambu, now all talk, yes, you people must come stop along village blow me pala.
So some of the people from Melly Station had been coming across the water, the river there, when they were over on the other side, and they had been saying, we want you to come. So when they realized they could come, they said, now we want you to come stay with us. So
all go now, all finding one pala ground on Melly, now this pala Melly village, all walking mission station.
So they found a place there in Melly, and they made a mission station.
Now behind Victor and helping Papa pass finish. All right, them go back on Tomball.
So then Victor stayed there for a while and finished helping his father get the station ready, and then he went back to Tomball.
Now me come back, want that motorbike now.
And then he came back with the motorbike.
Now Yalibu, me must lose his motorbike because no got a road, good for a road long motorbike or car or something. Yalibu, he go Melly. He no got a road. Him all bush trail, bush road, that's all.
So when he got to Yalabu, he had to leave his motorbike because there was not roads to be able to get back into Melly. It was just trails, and they had to go through the bush to get there.
Na sambala cargo, me pala boom him long Yalibu, and me find him sambala cargo boy one time, na me pala walk long carry this pala cargo, na carry me go, he go come up long Melly.
So he found some guys to help him carry the cargo, and they had to carry the cargo from Yalibu all the way through the bush to Melly.
Now, this pala Yalibu to Melly and close to, I think, 25 miles or something.
From Yalibu to Melly, he thinks it was about 25 miles.
Now, me pala walk about to go, carry him cargo, to come up long Melly, na man all walk long sing out, na talk kinango no go.
So he and the boys began to walk from Yalibu to Melly, the 25 miles, and then the people were calling out
Kinango no go. Red man he come.
that the red man was coming.
So me pala stop long this pala up now, na me pala stand up in one pala house low to, na some pala house sleep long me pala, na house sick, na me pala start the mission station long Melly.
So when they got to Melly, they started a church, and they built a church, and they built a clinic, and they built different things there, and they started a mission station there in Melly.
Now plenty line, only come na only like how to talk long God too.
And a lot of people from Melly came because they wanted to hear the stories about God.
And this pala one pala picture he stop on book below me. I think you pala try look him. And plenty man below we do all come sit down outside now. All people give him talk long God long all.
That book, that picture that he's showing you is a picture from when they were there at the revival in Weedu, where people came from everywhere to hear about God, and it was so many people that were there. It was a huge crowd.
That was the first service. And number one time people low to inside on Weedu.
The very first time they had the service there at Weedu Valley, that was how many people came out.
Now behind people talk, you must give him offer long God. Because God he talk, you bless him when them offer and by giving you more.
So then they told the people, you got to give an offering to God, because when you give to God, he then blesses you with more.
Now you look in picture, this first offering, all we do line, all come give him. All bring him cow, na sugar, na kind, all come give him the talk. People give him offer long God now.
So that's the first offering that the people from the Weedu Valley gave to God, and they brought sweet potatoes and sugar cane and all kinds of different things from their garden, and they gave it. They said, we're giving an offering to God now.
Now some of the monkey been school on Calpina, now only come stop on them people along Melly.
And some of the kids that went to school at Calpina came back, and they were there with them at Melly.
Now, this time, people start to make him walk. Me monkey, now me not walk about good long road. Papa from me lapun lig, now me not walk about hurry up too much.
At that time, he was able to walk a lot on the roads because he was
16.
16. He was a young man, but his father was older, and so he wasn't able to walk as well on the roads.
Now, you must go now. Go along, all get the village now about now. Out him talk long all now. Start to get up him lig house low through.
So his father told him, you need to go around to all the villages around Yalibu and begin to talk to people and start churches.
Now, me monkey 16, me have 16 about long road now. Me not make him so. Me go walk about plenty, me find him somebody one dog. All the time him talk, now all try long school me long talk we do.
So he was 16 and he was able to go a lot of places really quickly, and so he would go around to the different villages and he would start to talk about God and start churches, and then they would begin to teach him how to speak Weedu.
Namul mari no oyake Weedu and got oyake obi angaba talk. Before me I talk lig talk sabe Weedu talk place lig that, so now me I lose him thing.
He said he used to be able to speak a lot more Weedu, but now he's forgotten more of it.
That's all I think by me no good me pull in talk long and me sabe him to a big night long you pala and to finish. So I think by me cut him story now. Next time me like story long you pala long one pala man bushman and me turn him bell long kumi in the village na story blowing and move long go yet, because all to put a picnic blowing all move long make him move long God inside of Papua New Guinea now.
So we're not going to talk too much longer so you can get to sleep, but the next time he's going to tell you a story about a man that began a work for God in the
Kumiene village.
Kumini village, and his story is continuing because that man's family is still going and talking and sharing the love of God with people in Papua New Guinea.
So, little story belong to Bona, long you pala now, na sample mo stop, na this pala book, me write him, so me no lose him thinking. Me got plenty story stuff inside on little book.
He said that we're going to tell you some more stories about this, and this is his book that he wrote, so he's not forgetting it. He's got a lot of stories in that book, and so we're going to share some more stories. That book is not published right now. It was published, but we were trying to get it republished so that you can get it or get it on Kindle, so that you'll be able to get those stories as well.
Okay, I think long now me talk enough na. By you me pray na you pala good night long you pala long Papua New Guinea. Now by you me story more behind.
Okay, so we're going to say good night to you, and he's going to pray, and then we're going to say good night and tell you more stories later.
Papa God, me pala thank you through long big pala like below you. You got long me pala all get na you got long all line below Papua New Guinea. Now me pala thank you because you've been selling missionary go inside. Now plenty all tiny bell now all put in belief on you. Now plenty Christian all stop inside on this pala. Me ask him you long bless him all. Now you know long Widow Valley tasol. Me ask him you long bless him all get the hub long Papua New Guinea. Now when him have all you know sabi on you. Talk on you must go inside. Now plenty must stand in bell. Now put in belief on you. Now this nation, this country, and will stop Christian country. Now all leader too, all must Christian, all must lead him all people along good road. Let me ask him blessing blow you on Papua New Guinea. Now you can cut him up him all one time. Look out blow you now on night. Now give him good sun tomorrow. Now all can wake up, all can get up one time. Too light blow sun. He stop on top of the sky. That's all. Too light blow Jesus Christ must cut him up in Papua New Guinea. Now people I thank you long name blow Jesus. Amen.
Amen. We're praying Psalms 91 over you, and that God will put his angels around you and keep you in all your ways. Have a good night, Papua New Guinea. We love you, and we will be sharing more stories soon of stories Wantok to Buna Wantok.
Kiwi widow anglo weather PM in. You put all widow line. Sleep good.
Look him you behind.